The Gillard government's broadband superhighway has hit a speed bump. Thousands of people across Australia are enraged that their brand new homes don't have any kind of phone or internet connection. The National Broadband Network Company admits it hasn't kept pace with demand and hopes to clear its new development backlog by the middle of next year. But homeowners have told 7:30 the company can't say when they'll be connected. Political editor Chris Ullman has a look at the people trapped in the digital dark age.
By mid-2015, the NBN will be underway or completed for more than 3.5 million homes and businesses across Australia.
The $30 billion fibre optic superhighway is rolling out.
Take the NBN. If we didn't seize and shape the future, then the digital divide would exacerbate unfairness.
And it's fair to expect that all new houses should come plugged into the 21st century.
NBN Co is now connecting new developments to the national broadband network within the NBN fibre footprint.
Those that have it are delighted.
It's just brilliant, really. It's given me just super fast access to everything.
But meet the have-nots.
To not have a fixed landline, it's just not acceptable.
This is the new estate's digital divide.
You expect in Australia in 2012 to have a phone line. Simple as that.
ABELENE Buchanan will shortly move into a brand new home in a new development north of Brisbane without a phone or internet connection. The developers built the pits and pipes, but she's waiting for the NBN to run the cable.
I had a big conversation with NBN in August, I think it was, and the proceeds of a half-an-hour conversation was, look, pretend we're not coming.
Adam Kulikowski has already moved in next door.
It's incredibly frustrating. I'm trying to start a business from home, computer support, and I can't. I physically can't do it.
7:30 contacted developers and their professional associations across Australia. And from the east to the west, the story is much the same. Some developments are having no trouble getting connected. Others have serious problems.
The average delay is between 3 and 6 months. So people will move into a home and they'll get connected within 3 to 6 months.
In South Australia, one developer's been waiting more than 7 months to have his estate hooked up, and patience is wearing thin.
Particularly from those who actually had their applications in first, coincidentally. They're the ones who are most aggravated by the lack of fibre and the fact that those customers in houses that have been built in those new estates are having to use Telstra mobile systems.
The National Broadband Network concedes there's a problem.
We've got 3,800 which are in backlog, so those are people in their homes. We want to get those down quickly down to a zero level, so that's our intention to be. We've got the right processes in place now in terms of our build, the way that we're doing, the way we're going about that, and we'd anticipate at the rate that we're getting requests in from developers, we'd anticipate that we'd catch that up by about mid of next year.
Opposition communications spokesman Malcolm Turnbull says the problem is much larger than the NBN admits and stems from the company's determination to price private telecommunications providers out of developments over 100 houses.
The mistake they made, and it's very typical of this command and control approach of the government, is to do it themselves. Let me give you a very good example of how far they have missed the target. They said in January 2011 that they expected to establish an active service to 132,000 premises in greenfield estates by June 2012. In fact, by June 2012, they had provided active services to 500 premises.
As you would expect, where the service is connected, there are happy customers, like Samantha Grant, who's moved into a new estate in Canberra.
I mean, the difference is unbelievable, whereas previously I mightn't have downloaded software and things like that, updates and things. You know, you do it now and it's seconds rather than it could have been hours before.
But for those in homes without a connection, the mood is grim.
I don't have a business. I am unemployed at the moment. I cannot earn money without this broadband line.
In August, NBN revealed its costs were rising. Bill costs had lifted $1.4 billion and operating costs over the next 9 years were up $3.2 billion. But the company's new development woes also raised questions about value for money, like how much the network paid out on a now discontinued contract with Fujitsu, which was called in to manage the new estate's build.
They paid Fujitsu $100 million to oversee this process, which has only resulted in 500 premises being connected. So $100 million and 500 premises were connected, as opposed to a forecast of 132,000.
It was always our plan to build our own capability in-house, which we have done, and so we're still finishing off that contract with Fujitsu, but increasingly using our own capability in-house.
The developers think that the NBN needs to rethink the way it's doing business.
You could actually keep doing what you're doing, but if you keep doing what you're doing, then these problems are really going to get worse and snowball. You could throw more money at it, but we know there's no money, so the only option is you've got to look at how you deliver it, and that may require reprioritisation, more flexibility and more involvement with the private sector.
It's worth noting that with an election due next year, the government managed to find an extra $20 million in Monday's belt-tightening mini-budget to advertise the NBN, to improve public understanding and address misconceptions. It won't be enough if more new estates are left in the digital dark ages.
There's been so much publicity about it, you'd think, well, they're actually going to make it work, and it just seems like it's not working.
The NBN says it's working on improving old-fashioned communication skills.
They can tell us which development that they're in, and we will automatically give them updates of how the development's going and when their development's going to be ready. So we appreciate that so far it's caused a bit of frustration. We've set up a system to get past that and make sure that we're giving people the information about what's happening in their particular development.
But good customer service from NBN is not Adam Kulikowski's experience.
They are very short and sweet and say, we don't know when you will get NBN. Full stop. No apologies, no nothing. That's just what a monopoly can do.
Chris Ullman reporting.